Namaskar, welcome to Sansad TV. I'm Tina Jha. You're watching Assembly Debates, the show where we bring before you legislative matters of states, how they are discussed and debated in state assemblies, the legislations that are enacted thereafter, the impact that they have on people, and how they resonate in other parts of the country. Today, we are going to talk about reservation in private sector jobs for local residents. Jharkhand has become the latest state to formulate a law providing reservation for local population in private sector jobs. On the 8th of September 2021, the Jharkhand Assembly passed a legislation that accords 75% reservation to local residents in private sector jobs up to 40,000 rupees salary per month.
जो इसके पक्ष में है वह हाँ कहे, जो इसके विपक्ष में है वह ना कहे। मैं समझता हूं कि पक्ष में बहुमत है, प्रस्ताव स्वीकृत हुआ। झारखंड राज्य के निजी क्षेत्र में स्थानीय उम्मीदवारों का नियोजन विधेयक 2021 स्वीकृत हुआ।
The bill was originally tabled in the Assembly's budget session back in March, but following opposition from several members, it was referred to a 6-member select committee for deeper examination. Chaired by Labour Minister Satyanand Bhokta, the committee amended the bill with a few changes. It was named the Jharkhand State Employment of Local Candidates in Private Sector Bill 2021, and the monthly salary cap was also increased from 30,000 rupees to 40,000 rupees. Further, the bill provides for the constitution of a committee headed by a designated officer that will include Deputy Development Commissioner, the DDC, Circle Officer, and the local MLA to supervise the employment procedure and issue directions to the employer concerned as it may deem fit. Discussing the various provisions, members of the JMM-led state government hailed the legislation as a landmark one that they said would prove to be a boon for local residents. While opposition MLAs sought clarity on how the bill defined locals and what was the cut-off date for eligibility to be a native of the state.
राज्य सरकार के द्वारा अध्यक्ष महोदय, निजी कंपनियों में 40,000 तनख्वाह के पद पर 75% लोगों को नियुक्ति आरक्षण देने का ये ऐतिहासिक कानून बनाया है।
झारखंड के 3.25 करोड़ जनता मुख्यमंत्री और इस आसन के ऊपर टकटकी निगाह लगा के देख रही है। इसलिए देख रही है अध्यक्ष महोदय,
क्वेश्चन अब तक ये नहीं है।
मुख्यमंत्री जी ने स्थानीय को 75% आरक्षित किया, लेकिन स्थानीय कौन है ये जवाब जानना चाह रही है।
ये नियोजन वर्ष है और नियोजन वर्ष में सरकार की नीति को माननीय मुख्यमंत्री स्पष्ट करे कि स्थानीयता का आधार क्या होगा, नियोजन का आधार वो स्पष्ट नहीं है। स्थानीयता जो माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी, उनका दल और उनका जो रहा था कि खतियानी के आधार पर 1932 से अंतिम सर्वे को आधार मानते हैं कि नहीं, केवल इसका जवाब हम लोग चाहते हैं कि वो चाहते हैं कि उसी तरह से हो या क्या चाहते हैं, वो स्थानीयता को किस रूप से परिभाषित करते हैं अभी तक क्लियर है नहीं।
जिस तरह नियोजन नीति में अध्यक्ष महोदय यहाँ पर सर्टिफिकेट का अध्यक्ष महोदय के माध्यम से नियुक्ति होगी 3rd क्लास 4th क्लास, तो अध्यक्ष महोदय जानकार यदि जनगणना हो तो हम किसका जनगणना करेंगे, किन लोगों को करेंगे अध्यक्ष महोदय? झारखंडियों करेंगे, मूलवासियों करेंगे, यहाँ जो रहने वाले लोगों को करेंगे, किन का करेंगे अध्यक्ष महोदय?
हम कटिबद्ध हैं अध्यक्ष महोदय यहाँ के मूलवासी आदिवासियों को रोजगार में शामिल करने का। अध्यक्ष महोदय, रोजगार को लेके परवर समिति की प्रतिवेदन भी पटल पर आनी है अध्यक्ष महोदय, और उसमें जो समिति बनी थी पक्ष विपक्ष दोनों के लोग उसमें शामिल थे और लोगों ने अपना सुझाव भी दिया है अध्यक्ष महोदय। इससे बिल्कुल स्पष्ट है अध्यक्ष महोदय, सरकार पूरी तरीके से स्थानीय लोगों को रोजगार देने के लिए कटिबद्ध है।
Once notified, the act will make Jharkhand the 3rd state in the country after Andhra Pradesh and Haryana to have passed a law reserving jobs for locals in the private sector. The Haryana Assembly had passed the Haryana State Employment of Local Candidates Bill 2020 in November last year, paving the way for 75% reservation for local residents in private sector jobs. The bill was introduced in the State Assembly by Deputy Chief Minister Dushyant Chautala on the 5th of March 2020. Citing the high unemployment rate in the state, the Deputy Chief Minister had said the new law would be in the interest of the youth of the state.
आज
एम्प्लॉयर्स की
हम तो
मर्जी
ये
थोड़ा चलेगी, हरियाणा की चलेगी।
अपॉर्चुनिटी दे रहे कि हरियाणा के बच्चे को 75% वहां पर जो 50,000 की तनख्वाह से नीचे के जॉब
पूरी बात सुनने नहीं
वहां
पहले
पर
खड़े हो
उसको
जाते हो।
अधिकार दे
I was
कि
on
वो
feet.
कहीं ना
I
कहीं
was on my leg.
अपने आप के लिए रोजगार लाए।
However, members of the opposition Congress termed it violative of Article 16 of the Constitution.
There shall be equality of opportunity for all citizens in matters of the relating to the employment. उसके बाद आर स्टेट, मैं ये पढ़ रहा हूं, आर स्टेट है, किसी भी एम्प्लॉयमेंट में आप डिस्क्रिमिनेशन डोमिसाइल के बारे में नहीं कर सकते। क्या आर्टिकल 16 के खिलाफ ये बिल इस हाउस के अंदर आ सकता है?
अपना देश है, कोई भारत देश के रहने वाले हैं, हमारा बच्चा काबिल है। किसी और लाइन में अगर कोई साउथ में जाता है या कहीं कलकत्ता जाता है तो उसमें अगर वो ये कह देंगे हम नहीं लेंगे हरियाणा वालों को, वेयर दे विल गो।
एम्प्लॉयर्स की डिस्क्रिप्शन पे नहीं छोड़ना चाहिए ये। फिर किस चीज के लिए कानून है? 2011 में ईएमपी में हमने बना दिया था, एचएसआईडी से जिसको भी प्लॉट अलॉट होंगे 75% हरियाणा के लगाएंगे। दैट इज सफिशिएंट। व्हाई शुड एम्प्लॉयर बी गिवन दैट डिस्क्रिप्शन?
The concerns of the opposition members were duly addressed by Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar, who clarified that while Article 16 of the Constitution talks about the public employment, the Haryana bill only pertains to private sector employment, after which the bill was passed.
HSIDC में एक ये कंडीशन, एक क्लॉज लगा हुआ है कि जिसको इंडस्ट्री का लाइसेंस दिया जाता है वो 75% स्थानीय नागरिकों को, स्थानीय लोगों को भर्ती करेगा। लेकिन मुझे उसमें हमारी सरकार के भी पिछले 6 साल आ गए हैं और आपकी सरकारों के भी जब से बना तब से आ गए हैं, किसी ने भी उस क्लॉज के हिसाब से आज तक मॉनिटरिंग नहीं की, किसी ने नहीं की। और मॉनिटरिंग इसलिए भी नहीं हो सकती क्यों वो लेजिस्लेटिव क्लॉज नहीं है। वो हमारी एक कंडीशन उसमें लगा दी और उस कंडीशन में जो लाइसेंस ले गया, ले जाने के बाद उसने इंडस्ट्री लगाई, कहाँ का आदमी आके लग रहा है, कहाँ नहीं लग रहा है, कभी किसी ने उसको मॉनिटर किया नहीं। अब मॉनिटरिंग करने की बात आई तो मॉनिटरिंग करने में हमें लेबर का, जहाँ तक अपनी लेबर रखने का, अपने एम्प्लॉयमेंट का विषय है, बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। और 75% ये लेजिस्लेशन में ला रहे हैं, आज तक लेजिस्लेशन में नहीं आया। वहीं पर हमको इंडस्ट्री के लोगों को भी देखना पड़ेगा। कल को मान लो हमने कोई ऐसी चीज डाल दी जिसके कारण से इंडस्ट्री ही वहां से भागने के लिए तैयार हो जाए।
In March this year, Governor S. N. Arya gave his assent to the bill, but its implementation is still awaited. Even in Andhra Pradesh, which was the first state to enact a law providing for quota for local candidates, the path to implementation has not been smooth. The Andhra Pradesh Employment of Local Candidates in the Industries and Factories Act was passed in the State Assembly back in July 2019. Minister for Labour, Employment and Training, G. Jairam, had introduced the bill in the Assembly on the 22nd of July 2019. 2 days later, on the 24th of July, the bill was passed after a discussion in the House. Members of the ruling YSR Congress party said the intention of the new law was local empowerment.
స్థానిక ప్రాంతాల్లో అర్హత కలిగిన అభ్యర్థులు లేనప్పుడు స్థానిక అభ్యర్థులకు తగిన శిక్షణ ఇచ్చి నియమించుకోవడం అధ్యక్ష.
Chief Minister Jagan Mohan Reddy asserted that where qualified local candidates were not available, the industries and factories had to take steps to train and engage local candidates in 3 years, within which period the government would provide the skilled manpower at its own cost.
రాబోయే రోజుల్లో అది మంచి జరుగుతుందని చెప్పి మరొకసారి తెలియజేస్తూ ఈ బిల్లును ఆమోదింపజేయడానికి ప్రార్థిస్తా ఉన్నాను అధ్యక్ష.
Those who are for the motion, please say yeah. Those who are against, please say no. Yes, have it, as have it. The motion is carried and the bill is considered.
The bill was cleared by the Legislative Council on the 29th of July and it became an act after the governor's assent on the 14th of August the same year. 2 years since then, the act is yet to be implemented. In addition to these 3 states, there are some more states where the idea of quota for locals in jobs is gaining traction. In Tamil Nadu, domicile-based reservation was an election issue, with several parties announcing it in their manifestos. Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra have also spoken about the need for localization of workforce in industry to cater to rising unemployment. In Maharashtra, the MVA government announced plans to introduce a law that will make it mandatory for the private sector to reserve 80% jobs for those domiciled in the state. Although not legislated, the quota has been effected by way of government resolutions from time to time. In Madhya Pradesh, Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan announced in August 2020 that government jobs in the state will be reserved for local residents and necessary legal provisions were being made to ensure this. His predecessor, Kamal Nath, had also made a similar pitch in 2019 when he announced his plans to bring in a law to ensure 70% jobs to local youth in the private sector. In some other states like Karnataka, Gujarat and Telangana, there have been policy decisions reserving a segment of jobs for locals in states. In 2019, the Karnataka government amended the Karnataka Industrial Employment Standing Orders Rules 1961 to provide 100% reservation in Group C and Group D jobs for the local population in the private sector. A year later, in October 2020, another order was issued asking all private companies, big or small, to provide 80% reservation in jobs for Kannada-speaking people in all categories. The previous B.S. Yediyurappa administration had also drafted a legislation to provide 75% reservation to Kannadigas in industries, MSMEs, joint ventures and public-private partnerships, although it wasn't tabled in the Assembly. The Gujarat government also brought about a resolution for 85% reservation in jobs for locals back in 1995. This policy mandates industries which have received government benefits to provide 85% employment to locals, which means people who have resided in the state for at least 15 years. However, it was never strictly enforced as it was a government resolution and there was no provision to penalize companies that do not follow the rule. Down south in Telangana, the TRS government announced a policy in August 2020 to provide additional incentives to firms that hire local people. The state assured GST incentives and also concessions in electricity costs for these companies. Similarly, Goa offers incentives to private industries such as salary reimbursement if 80% of the employees are Goans. And up north, Himachal Pradesh also offers cash incentives to private units employing more than 80% Himachalis. So localization of workforce has been a persistent demand in states. While 3 states have enacted laws to this effect, there are some others who are mulling over the idea and several other states have enforced domicile-based quota by way of government resolutions. But in all of these states, it's been tough to implement the law or policy because of 2 major factors. One, the law hasn't been able to clear legal muster. And second, it's been vehemently opposed by the industry on various grounds. So what are the concerns of industries and what legal hurdles do these quota laws face is what we will try and understand in greater detail from 2 distinguished panelists joining us on the program. I'm pleased to welcome Mr. P.K. Malhotra, former Secretary, Ministry of Law and Justice, Government of India, and Mr. Dilip Chenoy, Secretary General, FICCI. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on the Assembly debates on Sansad TV. Mr. Malhotra, let me come to you first. So, Andhra Pradesh brought about a law that provides domicile-based reservation in jobs more than 2 years ago. Then Haryana also enacted a similar law. That was nearly 1 year ago. And there are several other states that have policies mandating quota for locals in jobs. But in all of these states, implementation hassles have been faced on this particular provision due to certain legal challenges. Help us and our viewers understand what these legal hurdles are that these domicile-based reservation laws face.
Tina, I'm happy that Sansad TV is discussing a very important topic today because on the one hand, the Prime Minister talks about Ek Bharat, Shresth Bharat, and on the other hand, some of the states, including the BJP-ruled state, are passing legislation or issuing policy directions for reservation for the locals. I think there is definitely an apparent contradiction that needs to be removed, or probably there has to be a better coordination when we talk of the federal government. Now, talking about the constitutional provision, I think all of us know that Constitution talks only about reservation in public services. The power is given under Article 16. And under Article 371 also, there are provision for reservation, but that is only in certain states and in certain area dominated by tribal communities. But generally speaking, if you're talking of reservation, the provision is in Article 16, and that is also with regard to the public services, and that is employment in the state, in the central government, in local bodies, and in PSU. It doesn't talk about reservation in the private sector. However, as you have rightly said, there are few states, including Karnataka, AP, Madhya Pradesh, Haryana. Some of them have passed legislation. Some of them have issued policy guidelines, which have not found favor even with the courts. Now, let me tell you and our viewers also that way back in 1984, the Supreme Court in the case of Dr. Pradeep Jain has struck down the policy of sons of the soil. Although there was no definite ruling with regard to employment of local, but son of the soil policy was struck down by the courts. And this principle was again upheld by, in Sunanda Reddy's case, when in the case of Andhra Pradesh, a policy guidelines was issued giving 5% weightage to Telangana medium candidates. Now, I'm talking of only, I'm not talking about reservation. I'm talking of only where you are giving reservation only to Telangana medium candidates. Then in 2002, again, Rajasthan also came out with a policy, and that policy was again challenged before the Supreme Court. But I think we have yet, and that policy was also struck down by the Supreme Court when they talked about the reservation for the rural area people. And again in 2019, the Allahabad High Court, it again struck down a notification prescribing preference for local women in appointment. So all this shows that courts are not favorably inclined in favor of reservation in the private sector. I think there is a big question mark on this kind of reservation by the states, because according, in my understanding, it goes against Article 14, which talks about the right to equality, because no exception has been given under the Constitution. And more, it also goes against Article 19(1)(e), which permits any citizen of the country to reside and settle in any part of the country. And it also goes against Article 19(1)(g) of the Constitution, which allows you to practice any profession or any trade, occupation or business in any part of the country. Mind it, the reservation provided here is for citizens. Once you are talking citizen, he is a citizen of India and he is not citizen of any particular state. If we examine from that perspective, all citizens of India have got this freedom, and in case they are not allowed to participate in the employment in other states, their right under Article 19(1)(e) and 19(1)(g) of the Constitution gets violated.
Mr. Chenoy, localization of workforce we are seeing is an idea fast gaining traction across states. State after state is now bringing laws, policies to this effect, and this is particularly something that the industry has not been happy about. Tell us about the concerns of the industry bodies over these laws that provide for quota for the local candidates in especially the private sector jobs.
Thank you, Tina. It's really great that Sunset Television is having this debate. I think there are four key issues here. I think if you look at any organization, right, they want to be, they're competing with not only companies in India, but companies against the world, and they want to hire the best and the most productive and the most efficient people, right? I mean, just imagine, if you were to say in the civil services, you will have a quota for every state, right? Just imagine, then the whole meritocracy of the whole thing will go. I'm just making a point just to illustrate it, right? And here the challenge is that if you have local reservation, then you are denying people the opportunity to actually, find employment according to their best ability anywhere in the country. You also need to see the education system. Although Dr. Malhotra talked about some reservation in the education system, but if you look at the engineers, right? You sit for an entrance exam, you don't have any choice on where you are going to get admitted. You might be a resident of Kerala, you might get an admission in Punjab, right? And then for 5 years, you are actually or 4 years, you're actually in Punjab, right? And if somebody offers you a job in Haryana, if there's a local reservation, you don't make it, then there's a challenge. So it's actually creating a whole lot of complications. And not only does it impact the ability of industry to hire some of the best, it also impacts, very bright, youth from different states to find the best opportunity according to their skill sets and their preference. The other thing that industry is also a little bit concerned about is that the whole process of putting your jobs in the public domain, sending what percentage of local people you have, and scrutinizing that, and then when you advertise a job, then what happens? And there's a very simple thing which is a concern which we are trying to be addressed. If you have 3 vacancies, right, and you have 50% reservation, or if you have 1 vacancy and you have reservation, how does it actually matter? It'll become very complicated for people to actually understand. In some cases, the numbers will actually lead to a different outcome. There are cases industry is willing to provide jobs to locals. There are cases when companies have actually, when land is allocated to them as part of the incentive package, they have to provide jobs to the locals, etc. And they happily work with the state government to do that. In some cases, if the jobs are not available within the factory, they find jobs for them in other parts of the country, which actually suits their skill sets and their ability to grow in their careers. Now, all that will go for a toss if this thing comes in. And the most challenging part is that there are many districts and many states which have surplus of young people. And there are many states which have a shortage but have more jobs. So there are people, without jobs and jobs without people. And if you kind of build this thing into the whole system, then it will actually perpetuate that going forward.
Mr. Malhotra, you pointed out that the law which the states are now enacting to provide quota to locals is violative of several provisions guaranteed by the Constitution, and you mentioned several articles that it violates. But since state after state is formulating laws, there are several others that are now mulling over bringing such a proposal. Does it mean that there are some provisions in the Constitution which allow states to actually reserve employment for a particular section, which the states are now banking on to bring or enact such laws?
No, Tina, I think it is the other way around. Since there are no provision in the Constitution, therefore the states are taking advantage, because constitutional provision talk about only reservation in government employment or in public sector. There is no yes or no so far as the private sector is concerned. Therefore, some of the state governments have issued executive order policy guidelines making reservation of certain classes, but some of them have gone ahead with passing of the legislation. I again make a reference to clause 3 of Article 16 of the Constitution, which talks of making the reservation based on residence of a particular person, but that reservation also can be made only by the parliament and not by the state legislature. I think that's a very important point which need to be taken note of. So even if there is no specific provision, state cannot say that because Constitution doesn't bar it, we can do it. Reason being, you have to look at the constitutional scheme. If the constitutional scheme is talking about the social welfare activities as well as of the welfare state, wherever reservation can be done, on what basis it can be done, that has already been provided in the Constitution. So in the private sector, if you are going to do it, it is definitely going to raise many constitutional issues, and that will have to be settled by the Supreme Court, which has not been done so far.
Absolutely. I think the larger concern is, and what Mr. Malhotra also pointed out, the core concern area is the rising levels of unemployment. And perhaps this is what is pushing state governments to actually talk about localization of workforce. So if not quota for them in jobs, what can be done to increase their employability?
I think there are 4 specific things what states could actually help, in. A lot of the challenges of employment of local youth, and this is, when you take this, the surveys done by different organizations, whether it is Central Square Foundation or whether it is Pratham, etc. The quality of education and the type of education has to be improved, because that is the fundamental basis of the ability of anybody to take up any profession or vocation going forward. The second thing is that in most of the state governments and the center, they have many skill development programs where they need to actually implement them in such a way so that it is they produce the best trained and best skilled people, let's say in the world. Forget in the state or within the country, right? I mean, Orissa has actually started this, so their tagline is "Skilled in Orissa," right? And they find that they have a strategic advantage in plumbers, so they're getting up to world class. And even in a city like Delhi, majority of the plumbers are from Orissa, right? So the second thing is really to actually do a whole skill development kind of a program. The third area is counseling, and a lot of industry organizations, including FICCI, have counseling programs, right? Where we need to counsel, young boys and girls about job opportunities, from school, in school, and related to education and skills. The new education policy now mandates skill development to be done in addition to the education program. And actually, Haryana was the first one to start it in 2015 to take vocational, programs into the schools. So you've got to have the counseling. And the fourth area is that actually a lot of people within the state should look at forecasting where jobs are available for the youth in the country, and they need to attract investment, especially highly employment intensive investment in their states. And when they give any incentive, to link the employment to that incentive. So if you look at that going forward, if you look at these four things going ahead, you can actually address a lot of this problem. For example, even Kerala, they've set up a division that looks at overseas employment for people from Kerala. So there are many innovative things that different states are doing to promote employment of the youth and skill development of the youth. That should be replicated by states and provide an opportunity going forward.
Mr. Malhotra, you want to add something?
Yeah, I think I entirely agree with what Mr. Chenoy has said, that state government should focus on better education, delivery and job creation, as well as skill development, no doubt about it. But in addition to it, there should be a voluntary encouragement to the companies to employ local people instead of going through the reservation route. I think the reservation route is not the option which should be exercised. For the simple reason, like take for example, when a land is allotted by a state government to a big industry, generally in the agreement itself, a condition is put that they will encourage employment of local people. I think that will work in a much better way as compared to putting an obligation of reservation, even if the law permits it.
Okay, so with that, I'll have to call it a wrap on this edition of Assembly Debates. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on the program today and sharing your thoughts with us on this very, very pertinent subject as well. Pleasure having you on the program. So that's it from us on Assembly Debates today. See you again next time. Thanks very much for your time.